What's up? My name is Jessica Ratchifer. I am a musician, and we are going to go behind the music and much more of By Accident.
But now that I wanna live, I am afraid of dying by accident.
So By Accident is an interesting song for me because it came from a moment. And the moment was when I had just been leaving therapy. And a lot of things were discovered in therapy. I discovered that I had depression my entire life. That was a big reason why growing up I had a very good outer living, but my inner self was not so great. And actually I had been referred to that therapist for EMDR therapy because of my PTSD, and that was something recommended by my doctor. I had been seeing this therapist for a couple months at this point. It was an interesting revelation for me when I had this thought. I had this feeling, this sense of purpose flooding my body again. And flooding actually isn't really the right word. It was more of just like a trickling in. And with that, for the first time in a while, came self-preservation and a fear of dying by accident. And I hadn't felt that for a long time. I was very much in a state of I didn't care where my life went, what happened to me, if I died, whatever, because I wasn't really doing great and didn't feel great, and I wasn't fighting for myself. It's hard to fight for yourself when you're exhausted. And so it's hard to just have a sense of self that feels valid, feels worthy of things, because you're down on yourself all the time and you don't really have the energy to have a self-worth. Your sense of survival isn't there when you're depressed. You lose the sense of purpose in a lot of that mental health battle. That sense of I'm afraid of dying by accident was the fuel for writing this song, because I just thought that was such an interesting revelation for me at the time, and I was like, who else has had this feeling? Because I don't think I know anybody who has talked about it like that to me before. And so that's how that song started, was I'm gonna write about that feeling, that moment of me leaving therapy and sitting in my car for a second, finally having a sense of self-worth again that seemed very integral to the human experience, and I hadn't felt that in a long, long time. It all came to me when I started playing with my guitar. I am not a guitarist. I'm really a vocalist that plays with different instruments in order to write. And so I just kind of came up with this little ditty on the guitar. Just some plucking that I was just working with, and I really liked it, and I just kept going with it. And then I paired the two together, the thought of wanting to survive any sort of accidental death with this lovely guitar melody that came to me. The actual production was literally just a guitar. I think maybe some strings or some synth programmable drum onto that too. But then I sent that off to Za Lounge, Tom and Brett down in Nashville, and they threw their flair on there, hired their guitar guy, Justin, to redo my guitar because, again, I'm not a guitar player. Sounds gorgeous, but don't take my word for it. Go listen. Every single time that we do a song, I go down to Nashville and retake the vocals because my poor little USB mic, sorry buddy, can't do it justice. The recording process for doing the new vocals was very, very easy and simple. We just breezed through it in a half day. And did the backing vocals, I think that same day, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes we do a separate day of just all backing vocals, just depends. So that process was super easy. And basically, that's it. We did some of the drums and mixed everything out. We did back and forth of me talking to them via Zoom or texting or our Google Doc where I leave notes for them and all that kind of stuff. And it came together pretty simply. So the music video, I worked with Jason at Revo Media again. From the get-go, I had pictured this whole scene. Originally, it was going to be at night, but I kind of like that it's during the day. It's in the woods. We filmed at a park, public park, and it was just these gorgeous, tall trees that really sucked my mom and I in when we went scouting. And we were like, this is the spot. It's low ferns, tall trees. I don't know why, but I really wanted something that was very earthy. Originally, I wanted something super mossy, like we were in the middle of England, but we're in Michigan, so that's not the same. But this worked really great because we also found, it was just like this little tiny patch of land aside a bike path where there was this tree that was just kind of perfectly, almost flat on that one side. And so that's where I am laying. There you go. I am laying right against that. If you can see, it's kind of like one of those trees where it kind of starts branching out low. And there's just kind of like a little bit of a flatter side on this. So I was like, I'll just sit here, like my little mermaid position in this dress, and just kind of just lean against it, relaxing in this environment of what it feels like in the surroundings of growth and life again. It's a very simple music video. And then eventually, once we get to the key change, I step up and start walking around and really taking in my environment. Throwing on the other shawl that goes over top, both of which, my dress and my shawl, were made by my mom and me, designed by me, put together by my mom after we went shopping and found the perfect fabric. Because what you'll see with the shawl and a sheer has branches on it. It looks so cool in the sunlight, and Jason got the perfect shot. It's so good. That's basically the music video. Oh, I have a cute little story about the behind the scenes with Jackie that is a lot of fun. So in order to get it looking all foggy like, we had this atmosphere in a can. Probably actually horrible for the environment, I don't know. We used it to just kind of catch more of the light, the natural sunlight, so that everything looked more glowy. There's some great behind the scenes shots in the behind the scenes videos. She's just flying around right before a shot trying to make it look all smoky, whatever you want to call it. It was just really fun watching her do that. She's very athletic, so she's just flying all over the place. It's really great. So thank you for venturing with me behind the music and everything else for By Accident. You can find the original music video and the behind the scenes on my YouTube page, and follow, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the fun stuff if you want to, and also find me on social media under Jess Rochaffer on pretty much anything. So, thanks guys.